If you want to get faster at rowing and you want to get a better workout and burn more calories, there is some basic fundamentals that you need to learn. And that really comes down to that you start the stroke by pushing with your legs, then you swing your back, and you finally pull in your arms at the back of the stroke. Now that sequencing is the primary fundamental of rowing, but there's a whole bunch of secondary fundamentals that if you can get grasp of, it will improve your rowing and the quality of workout you get. Things like when you roll into the front of the machine, making sure that your shins are in a vertical position and that you're not going past that vertical position, and it's also you're not stopping short, okay? If you go past, what happens is your backside escapes from underneath you. If you stop short, you can't get as much of a leg drive. So vertical is the kind of best place to go. Now, there's another one that I've been banging on about for years, and that is posture. The importance of sitting up on your sit bones rather than sitting back with your hips rolled backwards, your tailbones tucked underneath you, and you're sitting on the fleshy part of your backside. Now, the reason for that is because if you sit up on your sit bones, when you come into the front of the machine, it's much easier to tilt forwards over your hips into that 1 o'clock tilt in order to be able to connect your feet to your hands. When you're in this position and you push your feet into the machine, that power comes up through your posterior chain, through your arms, into your hands. You can hang off the handle and really power into the machine. If you come into the front of the machine with your hips pointing backwards, it's really, really difficult to get that connection from your feet to your hands here through your back. And in fact, what ends up happening when you're rowing with your hips rolled backwards the whole time is all the force goes into your lower back. And this is when you'll hear someone go, "Oh, I don't enjoy rowing. It really hurts my back." So what I have is another weird, wonderful, wacky, and amazing way to describe what's meant to be happening here with your hips. And that is my little friend, the bucket. Okay, so what I want you to do is imagine this, okay? So here's your hips. I'm sitting nice and, so I'll do it this way, nice and straight because I'm just in like a neutral position. As I get to the back of the machine, my hips now roll backwards, okay? So I'm now tipping water out of the back of the bucket here as I finished my stroke. And then what I want to do is sit up. So that's me back in the neutral position, and then tip water out of the front or whatever, out of the front of the bucket. And that's my hips now in the perfect position to roll into the front of the machine for the next stroke. I then hold that hip angle for as much as possible, swing over my hips, finish in that backwards position, pouring water or whatever out the back of the bucket, ready to then sit up and tip it forwards again. So it really is, if you can think about it that way, you get to the back of the stroke and then tip the bucket. It's really all you have to think about. Get to the back, tip the bucket forwards, and that's you now primed up on your sit bones. There's only really that connection of your sit bones to the seat to then get you into the front of the machine. You're still in that position, then you push, get to the back of the stroke, tip the bucket, slide forwards, and that should then be all it needs to fix your posture. It's this kind of up and over, the tilting of the bucket, that is so important. So if you find that you are rowing, you're throwing the handle up over your knees, you're pointing backwards, you don't really feel like you're getting that forwards connection, you can think, what did that idiot say about the bucket? And you go, oh yeah, I've got to tip the bucket. So then you go, hands away, tip the bucket forwards, you're in that primed position. Hands, tip, roll. Hands, tip, roll. Okay? So that's what I want you to think about. If you are struggling with this posture, that gets you up and onto your sit bones in a much more primed, powerful way to push that force into the machine. And as long as you hold it as you're pushing your legs into the machine, you're pushing the machine away from you with your feet, then that power will come up through your body into the machine. And trust me, you will find you're going to row a lot faster. And as a result of the bigger connection you're going to get from a proper kind of forceful stroke, rather than missing that back connection and not being able to put in the power, you will find you'll get a much better workout from rowing this way. So whether you're looking at speed or whether you're looking at burning calories, just a simple tip of the bucket will give you exactly what you need. All right, so thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you can use this tip, and make sure, if it works for you, to leave a comment below, because I'd love to know exactly what kind of improvement you saw, either in pace or in calorie burn or whatever. All right, In the meantime, do check out a whole bunch of the free RowAlong workouts that I have here on this channel. I think there's round about 532 was the last time I counted for the amount of workouts here. So enjoy one of them. Let me know how you got on with them. And until I hear from you, please row well, be well. Bye-bye.